Hello and welcome back. I am Deanna, aka Didi, and this channel is about grief, loss, motherhood, and lifestyle. So, if you have lost your mother, or if you never knew your mother, or if you are a mother, this channel is for you. Okay. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the lessons that I have learned from my mother. If you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I lost my mother in 2016. She had a heart attack, instant cardiac arrest, and it took her out. I doubt she did little suffering because of the report that I saw. I was living in North Carolina at the time, and she lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And since then, I have moved back. So these are some lessons that I've learned from my mom, and I want to share them with you. Maybe they'll help you, maybe they'll amuse you, whatever the case may be. Thank you for watching in advance, okay? So lesson number one that I've learned from my mom was to follow my dreams and passions. Follow my dreams and passions, and don't listen to what nobody has to say. My mother was one of those people that she was going to do her regardless, good, bad, or indifferent. But the thing about my mom is she was a good person until you pissed her off. Straight up. She is a good person and will be a good person to you. Will give you the shirt off her back until you piss her off. And it took a lot to piss her off. And I think that is something that I got from her as well. As in, stop putting all your value into people. Okay. When you put your value into people, when you put too much value into people, that's when you put on expectations on those people that you highly value. And when they fall short, you get upset, you feel hurt, you feel like, oh, how could they do that to me? It's because you put too much value into those people. All right. Now, the people that I value the most is my daughter, of course, my grandparents, and that's it. Like, if I was to put 100% value into people, those would be the people that I would value the most. And that's not saying that I don't value anybody else in my circle or in my family, but that's only because I'm immediately around them on a daily basis. So I've naturally grown that connection with them. Okay. Now, the second lesson that I will say that I've learned from my mother is make it look good. Okay. And that goes down to my appearance, things that I own, take care of the things that I own. Always put 100% in the things that I do. Make it look good, like today. So today is actually Mother's Day that I'm recording this video. I'm trying to get my daughter ready for bed. I know you can still see the sunlight through my blinds, but yeah. So now I was definitely moving slow. This is one of the harder days. Anyway, so make it look good. So as I was getting ready for church today, I actually missed it because of how I was feeling on the inside. I said, well, before I get dressed, I'm going to do my makeup. So I did a nice little soft beat on myself, something that I know that she would appreciate, my mother. And I was just like, well, I'm going to do this. And at least if I look good, then I'll feel good at least a little bit. And it did help. So I did my makeup for my mom today, not just for me, but for my mom. And then my daughter was like, oh, mommy, I like your makeup. I just love my daughter, y'all. So yeah. And your parents, my mother loved wearing purple lipstick. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing purple, I always buy purple things now to pay homage to my mother. My butterfly bonnet. Actually, me and my daughter have matching bonnets. I'm proud of that. They have matching bonnets. I haven't found robes yet, so if anybody comes across a butterfly robe, let sis know, okay? And just taking pride in what you do, making your area look good, making what you do look good, do good work, and that's something that I can say that I learned from my mom. The next lesson that I have learned from my mom is to keep your money. Don't spend all your money, or you're not going to have any money. When I was growing up, of course, I got allowance. And then I got paid for good grades. Well, not paid. I got rewarded for having good grades. And I was told to keep my money in my wallet. And when I was old enough, put my money in the bank. I actually was in a program and they helped us open up bank accounts. I don't fault my mom for not opening up a bank account for me, because that's something that wasn't naturally in her or whatever. But the lesson that I took from that is make a bank account for my daughter. When my daughter was, before she turned 1, I opened up a bank account, and every time I got paid or got a little extra money, I will put a little bit of money in her bank account. So now my goal with that bank account is to either give it to her as a present, with a financial advisor, use it to pay for school, even though there's different programs that I can do to put money away that she'll have for college, to pay for college. But I'm gonna have her do the same thing my grandmother made me do. Go down there and put in scholarship after scholarship after scholarship, because they're out there. Okay. But yeah, as far as financials goes, I would say that now she didn't sit me down and say, this is how you budget, things like that. Everything that she taught me about finances was done indirectly. She wasn't against credit cards. She never talked about it. And how I knew this was when I was in high school, I went to Macy's and I was in there looking around because it was downtown. I had to catch the bus downtown to go home. So we parlaying at Macy's for no reason. And then I wanted to get something, and the associate, probably not knowing that I was in high school, she was like, oh, you can open up a charge card. And I was like, okay. Then I got approved for a Macy's credit card as a child, as a minor. So my mother found out, she said, well, you can spend X amount of dollars per month on this Macy's credit card, and I will pay the bill. I'm pretty sure her reason for that was to make sure that I had established some type of credit history, because she knew about those things. My mom worked in the corporate world. She didn't know about those things. And so that went on for a while, and it worked out. She taught me how to save. Like I said, it wasn't a direct lesson, but indirectly she taught me how to save, keep my money, spend my money on things that I needed to spend it on. But at the same time, it is my money. Enjoy it every once in a while. Okay. You worked for it. And me, I've had a work permit since I was 13 years old. And one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get out there and work. Okay. So there was that. Okay. Another thing that my mother has taught me, another lesson that my mother has taught me, is how to be a loyal friend. My mom grew up with about the same 6 or 10 friends that have been in my life since I can start remembering things. Now, of course, she had friends that moved out of town, they joined the military, whatever the case may be, but she always kept in contact with these people. And my mom can get along with older people. She had a lot of older friends, senior citizen friends. She had a couple friends in her age group, but she will always be there for her friends, and in turn her friends will always be there for her. This was shown by how many people came to the house and hung out with her, how many times she went out and hung out with her friends. And then some friends were ride or die. So I think in one of my previous videos I talked about the time when I had came home. This is after I received the news that she had passed away, and I came home to clean up her house, get things together, sell, move around things, give away, whatever the case may be. Now I'm on one track, and that track is to take care of my mother. I wasn't necessarily thinking about other people. This isn't to say that I didn't care about them, but when you're in that type of moment and that's your atmosphere for the time being, you think about things a little differently. So as I'm in the house cleaning up, okay, I thought my daughter was crying, forgive me. So as I'm in the house cleaning up, where all my friends and some of my family members were cleaning up the house, one of her friends busted through the door. This and the third. You ain't answering the phone. So she comes in. Now, everybody knows I live in North Carolina, but she busts in the door. She says all that, and she sees me on the steps. My heart fell to my A word, okay? Because I was like, oh my God, I forgot about her. We wasn't friends on Facebook or nothing like that, And I didn't personally have her number, but I knew that was one of her best friends. But like I said, I wasn't in that headspace, that headspace at the time. And she looked at me and she was like, "Oh my God, Esther's dead," you know. And she put two and two together. And it was like really hard, and I had to like take a seat, because all those emotions came running back. They're already going through my head, but yeah. So friends like that, she said, "I haven't heard from your mom in a couple of days, and I needed to come by and see what the hell was going on." And she did that. So that right there showed me the loyalty that her and her friends had for each other, and I can really appreciate Miss Pina to this day. Another lesson that my mom has taught me is to be resourceful. Just don't be stuck because you don't know something. Now granted, you don't know what you don't know. I say that all the time. You don't know what you don't know, but you do know what you want. You do know what you're trying to do. You do know where you're trying to go, at the very minimum, right? If you don't know where you're trying to go or where you're headed, you at least know what you want. And when you know what you want, you can kind of research how to get what you want. And that's something that my mother has taught me. I wasn't allowed, and my grandmother taught me this as well. I wasn't allowed to sit here and twiddle my thumbs because I didn't know anything. It would be like, okay, well, what have you done to figure it out? You know what I mean? What, instead of just sitting here, what have you done to try to get what you want? Have you asked somebody for help? That's the thing. She always instilled in me to ask for help, whether it was from her, whether I had to go research, whether I had, whatever the case may be. She made sure that I knew if there was something that I wanted, something that I need to know, I need to get up and figure it out or ask somebody for some help. My mother has taught me a whole lot of things in that short time span that she was alive. Now, luckily for me, I had my mother up until a few years before I turned 30. Yeah, but I did have my mom for a really long time. Of course, I would have loved to have her for longer, but in that short amount of time, I have learned so much and have felt her love and her protection. I've witnessed her strength and her resiliency, and that's another thing. She taught me how to be resilient. Resiliency means the ability to bounce back when you fell down. And I've learned that from her. She used to always write. She had notebooks, whether she's taking notes or she's at work doodling, whatever the case may be. She had this phrase called "keep on trucking." And I know she used to date this truck driver, so she probably got it from that. But she applied it to her life. And sometimes when I feel unmotivated and things like that, then I reflect back to that phrase, "keep on trucking." So yeah, keep on trucking, y'all. If you are feeling down this Mother's Day or around this Mother's Day, if your mom's birthday is coming up and she's not here, I just encourage you all to keep on trucking. I hope you all got something out of this video, because this today, making this video, made me feel a whole lot better than what I did when I woke up this morning. Thank God I'm still here to wake up and be a mom to my baby. But like I said, this day is always hard, and it's not something that I can control how I feel. But I thank God that I'm here, and I thank God that I did get the time with my mom as much as I did. And I thank God for her love, her strength, her resiliency, and her protection. Stay tuned to the next video. Tell me some things in the comments that you have learned from your mom, good, better, and different. Because sometimes those hard lessons or those bad lessons could turn out to be good lessons. So you always got to think of the positive. Be positive, y'all, and keep on trucking. Until next time, this is Dee Dee, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video.